Hi, I'm William Stewart. Welcome back to our verse-by-verse study on the book of Galatians. Such a great book, leading to a wonderful study. We're in chapter 6, the last major section that Paul was instructing the Galatians. Up to now in chapter 6, it's been speaking about body life issues, about how to care for other people's burdens, as well as to maintain your own burden and to communicate good things to the teacher, to your teachers and the people over you who have instructed you. In verse 7 and 8, our topic for the day, it changes the topic a little bit, discussing the basis of our salvation or Christian walk, out of our salvation. In verse 7, it says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatever a man soweth, so shall we reap." Now, this can be controversial, where I think a lot of people in context would be talking about the Christian life, but verse 8 explains it. For, otherwise, when we see this word for in the original Greek, it means that verse typically is explaining or expanding on the prior verse. So these are related. So 8 explains 7. "For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life." So one could think of this as, well, if you're obedient in the Christian life, you'll sow good things. If you're not obedient in the Christian life, you will sow bad things. I don't think that's really the case here. And again, many would disagree. I think it's talking about salvation. And the reason is from Romans 6 and Romans 8. Romans 6 is pretty clear that spiritual baptism, otherwise regeneration, means there's really only two types of people in the world: those who will reap bad things and are slaves to the flesh, or those who have believed on Christ to salvation and his death and resurrection, and are regenerated to a new person who have the capacity to serve God and reap good things. There's really nothing in between. Oh, all of us as Christians sin, but in terms of lifestyle and ultimate fruit, the fruit's either good, as God would have, or bad. And to have good fruit, one has to be regenerated, otherwise sown by the Spirit, because it's a Spirit that regenerates us, sown to the Spirit indwelling us, and out of our obedience. It's the Spirit that regenerates us and helps us in our daily life. And it's by the Spirit that gives us the ability to think and act like a godly person, from Romans 8, verses 5 and 4. So that is to life everlasting. It's basing it in salvation. Those who are regenerated, who have believed, regenerated by the Spirit, have life eternal. Those who have not believed, so towards corruption. Otherwise, we know unbelievers are corrupt because of Adam's sin, their inherited sin, doing bad things, corrupting their minds and bodies. So it's either one or the other. So you're not going to fool God. You're not going to mock him by fooling him in verse 7. So if he's sown his seeds towards the flesh as an unbeliever, those fruits will be seen. It'll be obvious. If he's sown those seeds towards belief and being regenerated by the Spirit, that will have a spiritual result, and that will be obvious as well. Okay, important verses. Thanks for joining me today. Please come back next time. We'll continue this interesting discussion in the first half of Galatians 6. Goodbye for now.